Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rox and I'm coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 7 Episode 18. So I know I said I wouldn't complain and I'm not. But y'all feel good today. Like all this, all up in the inside in there. You guys, it's my allergies. But it hurts. And it, all of this, If you guys could be in my office and just had listened to the antics of Roxanne this morning, you know how you just be like, in there when you go just do that. Back in there with the thing, the boxing thing at the back of your thoak. My thoak, y'all, my thoak. It wasn't much that happened on the show yesterday anyway, so it ain't like I got much to talk about. It's gonna be a really easy review. I don't have no imitations and nothing to do, y'all. So we gonna get on through this so I can go to the grocery store. I gotta go grocery shopping. Didn't do it this weekend. So I'm in the Walmart parking lot about to make it happen. Anyway, you guys, let's get to it, shall we? So the show picks up where it left off last week, which was with Nene walking out of the counseling session. She says she's over it. She's not fixing to sit there and let them gang up on her and beat up on her. And she knows she's not the only problem. And she was like, Jeff, you better get your hands up off of me. I guess she threatened him and said that he needs to check his license. It's really funny that she would say that considering she's the one who called this whole thing to action. I mean, at one time you was fine with the license or whatever you thought he had. So anyway, y'all. While she's out there in the parking lot trying to get away and Dr. Jeff is following her, I was mad that he followed her. I was just like Candy. Like, why are you even chasing her? The bitch want to get up and go, then let her go. But all this running after somebody, I mean, he followed her all the way. She had to tell him to get out the way so she could close her door. Was you ever going to realize that she was not turning around? Especially after all of that. No, she wasn't fixing to. So I was mad that he did that. That's like Candy said, the reason why she does it is because everybody always kisses her ass. Dr. Jeff came back in there like, I didn't get her back in the room, but we're gonna still continue on with this session. And they make the best of the session that they can. Kenya starts off and says that, she's just mad that Nene left because she would really like to know what is it exactly Nene wants from her so that they can move on. And Portia thought that was funny. She kind of laughed, and then Dr. Jeff was like, well, what's so funny? And she was just like, it's funny because... And this was the first time that I was 100% on Portia's side. She was just like, everybody here acts like they want to move on. They say they want to move on. Okay? And then next week they'll be up here saying some old, shady ass bullshit about you. Cuss you out. Try to blast you or whatever. It's just like everybody is fake and phony. They say they want to do something, but then they don't follow through. They don't do it. And the example that she used when Claudia, started talking about her on the bus, I mean, that was like the best example because Claudia really had no reason to jump on Portia other than the fact that she said that Portia was laughing. Well, everybody was kind of laughing at that table at the time. So it's like, if you're going to get mad at Portia, then why not get mad at everybody? I think it was a valid point. I think everybody it looked like, anyway, from the way it was edited, that it kind of made everybody kind of look back and think like, yeah, that is sort of true. Claudia did apologize and say it was on her mind, maybe she shouldn't have did it like that, maybe she shouldn't have done it in front of all the girls. And I think that kind of made Portia feel a little bit better. They do get some sort of apology thing going, and it looks like those two might be on the mend to at least being able to be cordial with each other. Then we even have a moment when Kenya and Portia, now y'all know these two, they ain't never been able to really see eye to eye. And Portia says that Kenya even jumped in on it when Kenya really had nothing to do with it at all, which she didn't. And I think Kenya also just wanted to say something because she just always has this bone to pick with Portia. But I think Kenya also realized that it was childish. Like all of that shit that happened in Puerto Rico, even though it was hilarious and we all had a good time, it was childish. Like it was foolishness. But we still enjoyed it because how many times do somebody just go off on Nene like that? Then they go around the room and everybody starts to talk about their issues. Portia starts telling them about, she was bullied all through high school and, growing up, and then she got married and that didn't go well. She was bullied in her marriage. So she has that issue. Then we get to Claudia. Claudia talks about her interracial issues growing up, the mixed child, and I guess in an Italian neighborhood wasn't really accepted. Then we get to Kenya, and Kenya talks about her issues with her mother and how they still don't get along. long, still don't really have a relationship. At least we was able to get something out of it. And it wasn't just 100% harping on the fact that they got problems with each other. Like, we didn't beat that damn stone to death, right? What was really funny was that, like Cynthia said, you know, once Nene was gone, they were all able to talk. One of the problems that Nene has with this group is that, you know, Nene never lets anybody get their feelings out. She just kind of talks over everybody. Maybe they just needed Nene to not be there. Nene and Phaedra. Also, Candy talks about how she just was a little flabbergasted at the fact that Phaedra is talking to everybody but her about whatever issues that they had. Candy was just like, I just don't really understand. You know, I've never done that to her, so I don't understand why she's doing it to me, like telling everybody whatever it is that we might be going through. So that's it, you guys. They finished their session, and they all have a group hug. I'm tired of all the bickering. You know, I know that that's a part of the show that makes the show push on, but that's all it's been these last couple of seasons, and it's just like, I don't know what it needs to be for it to still be entertaining, but it don't always have to just be motherfuckers fighting all the time, right? Now, Nene goes home, and, you know, she's telling Greg, like, she just, you know, the whole session didn't go well. She had to leave because the girls just was ganging up on her. But she mentions the video. See, at the end of the session that they had with Dr. Jeff, there was a video made, and Candy was just like, I ain't doing no video. Okay, I'm just like I just said, y'all be kissing her ass all the time. What the hell you doing the video? If she was so concerned about what went on here, she just kept her ass here. But Portia, Claudia, Kenya, and Cynthia, they all decide to do a video. They just like, you know, we hate that you left, but we think we understand what you were trying to do, you know, and hopefully we'll all be able to get together, or whatever it was. I was with Candy, like, oh, later for that noise. Okay, bitch, if you was concerned, you'd have stayed. So Nene is telling Greg that they sent her the video, and she just don't even know anymore. She don't know if she can do it, if she can be around these group of girls. You know, it's just too negative, it's too taxing on her. You know, she's about to go to Broadway and work on Cinderella, so I mean, fine. If she feels like she's had enough of everybody, then you take your ass on down to Broadway. Don't forget that fucking wig that you had on last week. Now, this whole thing with Phaedra, we ain't even gonna harp on it long. Phaedra is going through. She's trying to find her peace. She's trying to get settled with her life again. If she wants to be the whole extra religious Southern Belle Phaedra, rely on God, I mean, you know, it happens. People go through shit, then they turn to the church because they know that that's the one thing that might bring them solace and some peace.
My sister bumped your car, but she didn't scratch it.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. That just happened because the lady just hit my car when she was parking. But at least the lady came, and I guess that was an apology. Anyway, that's Phaedra's whole new bag now. Everything is, you know, now she's talking to Sarah Jakes. That's T.D. Jakes' daughter. And I guess T.D. Jakes' daughter has been through a divorce, a public divorce or something too, or had some issues. And look, fine. She talked to her. She made her feel better. Then fine. Phaedra's whole thing is she's trying to come to terms with, you know, the fact that her marriage is ending. I guess Apollo has told her that he wants a divorce. None of this is a surprise. Maybe because it's already kind of played out in the blog. So now we just kind of sitting and watching the behind the scenes. But whatever. Phaedra goes and talks to the lawyer, Ronnie Kaplan. It says that that's one of her good friends. It's so funny. She's got all these new good friends. Like, where are these people been? I guess they ain't never been on the show. They ain't, you know, they ain't got to be on the show. Fine. And Ronnie is just telling her, okay, I've looked at everything. It's a standard divorce just like any other times, okay? But, you know, the problem here is you guys have kids, and, you know, we need to make sure that the kids are, you know, treated fairly. If they get to see both of their parents and the such. Phaedra's just like, yeah, that's all fine and good, but I work, and he's all the way in Kentucky, and, you know, I'd have to take off. Ronnie seemed like she don't really care about that too much. I think Ronnie's feelings is that he has these kids. Okay, you can make the effort to take the kids to go see him at least a couple of times a year. Okay, they need to see their dad. So they're still trying to work that out. But I thought it was really funny when Ronnie was like, well, girl, you knew that he was a damn felon, that he didn't been to jail, and that he wasn't the best, he wasn't the ideal to start with. Okay, why'd you even marry him? I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad she said it. And Phaedra said what she said before. She thought that he was a changed man. She fell in love, and he loved her, and they had their family, and she just thought it was going, and that all equals out to say I was pregnant. My mom is a preacher. My dad is a preacher. They wanted to know that I was going to be married, so that's why I got married. I think that that's probably more of what it was. Plus, somebody said she was digmatized. That Apollo probably was working the middle real good. And she lost her mind a little bit. Okay, plus we know Phaedra, Phaedra does have street side Phaedra. Phaedra does a good job of hiding it, but every now and then, okay, going back a couple of seasons, we remember when Phaedra was really, into the whole stripper thing. Phaedra has a whole nother side to her that she's done very, very well, a very good job of hiding away in these last couple of seasons, the whole Southern Belle thing. But that's pretty much it with Phaedra. Like, ain't too much there either. Claudia, after the whole counseling session with Dr. Jeff, the girls all had, Claudia feels like maybe she could benefit from some one-on-one time. Okay, Claudia knows she has a few other issues. She wants to be a better person. And maybe she does hold on to issues. You guys know that that's what we said all season, is that Claudia just doesn't seem to know how to let shit go. And I understand being pissed off about something and just not getting over it, but after a while it's just like, what the hell? The other person ain't changing just because you just continue to bring it up. As a matter of fact, it probably makes shit worse. She's talking to Dr. Jeff, and she says that she's sure that, I'm sure that probably from her being on this damn show, but she's saying that she's learned to be a little bit more patient. And she's just telling him that she just wants the girls to be able to, they all have some length of power in Atlanta, okay, or at least some influence in Atlanta, I would say. They would all get so much further as a team instead of just always fighting each other. So she's just trying to figure out, I don't know how Dr. Jeff gonna help her do that, but she just wants to be a better person. That's fine. So this was Bravo's way of introducing a trip. You guys know how they do a trip every year. And they usually let the new person be the one to suggest a trip. We already had Dimitri. Y'all, where Dimitri? They done got rid of the baby. I ain't seen Dimitri. She ain't been around lately. I guess they just said fuck it. Although I think Dimitri is going on this trip. He says, well, why don't you guys try to go somewhere? Y'all just start over, and everybody get together on new ground. Even though we've done it 6 seasons before now. Shit ain't really worked out that well. Some of the trips have been nice, but for the most part, they usually aren't. But we gonna try. Number 7, we gonna try it again, y'all. And then we find out later on, Claudia and Portia actually got together. I guess they're still trying to get on some common ground. And it looks like maybe things is getting better between the two of them. They sit down and, they decide that they are going together. They decide that they're going to go to the Philippines, to Manila. I thought it was just cool to see Claudia and Portia in a frame together, and they weren't arguing. They was laughing and having a good time. Now I'm just feeling relieved that maybe we can all sit in a room sometime and get through a conversation without it being a fight. You know what I mean? This whole thing with Kenya and her production, I was just like, oh, I cannot watch this. Oh, you guys, I just be so uncomfortable when I see shit on TV and it's not funny to me. It makes me uncomfortable to the point where I wanna turn the channel. So you guys know that Kenya is having this. She's doing this. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. Is it a TV show? Was it a DVD? Whatever it is. She's producing, she's writing, she's directing, she's starring in it. She says she's stressed out about the whole thing because her money is what's funding it. I guess she's got this whole cast and crew. They're gonna have a round table where they sit around and they read the script out loud. As soon as she said that she was nervous about it because she's not a writer and she wrote the jokes and everything, I was just like, oh my god, she doesn't, she can do cute little fast little quips and things, but actually writing comedy is not easy. We done been through this with the whole comedy shit with Claudia, right? She sits down with the cast. We got Leon, Cynthia, she's in the play, or the whatever the fuck it is, and all the other people. So they sitting down and they reading it, and just like I said, the whole thing is just, it's not funny, it's not entertaining, and they sound like they do a little, a little giggle for her just to make her feel a little bit better. But I was just like, oh, I can't watch. I don't want to watch it. I'm not saying that Kenya can't produce anything. Maybe she could even direct, but writing, I don't know. Y'all know how I feel about writing, because I think that I'm a writer. Bitch ain't put shit out, okay? Bitch, publish something. Up here want to be telling motherfuckers how to be writing shit. Ain't did shit. But anyway, y'all know what I mean? I still feel like that's a craft that needs to be protected, and people that really do it need to do it, and not motherfuckers just coming up out the woodwork just... Anyway, y'all, did y'all think that her her little, somebody tell me what it's gonna be. Oh, my throat. Oh, my God, you guys, it hurts up in there so bad. Like, it just be thick in there. All this. I feel like I can't even hear all that good. But yeah, y'all tell me what that whole thing is supposed to be. Y'all leave it down there below. So Candy, what? Nothing. Candy and Peter and Todd and Cynthia hang out, play pool together. They just talking about the whole Dr. Jeff situation and how Nene stormed out and how she couldn't hang. And Cynthia was like, Candy, you was the reason that she got set off, because Candy was the one who said that Nene seems to, you know, get all her friends, and then when she's finished chewing up, she just spits them out. And Nene didn't like that. Then they talk about the fact that Phaedra never came. Candy was just like, she would never be able to say that I said anything about her. I was cracking up because I was like, oh, I done missed. That's one false of the Candy imitation that I done missed. It was the incredulous Candy where she laughs. You're like, she can't, like, she will never be able to say that. Oh, my thoak. Anyway, whatever. I don't know why they was hanging out. It wasn't nothing said there that ain't been said the rest of the time. But anyway, you guys, later on, Candy's at Tag's Boutique. Cynthia and Kenya come down there and they gonna do some shopping. Kenya tells Candy how Claudia is trying to get a trip going. The Thriller in Manila. Candy was just like, where is that? Like, you don't know where Manila is, Candy? These fucking Atlanta schools, I tell you. So they tell her that they're going to the Philippines. It's gonna be a 12-hour flight, you know. Candy was just like, oh, you know, Candy don't like to get too far away from Atlanta, but girl, maybe you need to broaden the horizons a little bit. So that's it. We find out that that's going to be the girls' trip, and yeah, it doesn't look like Nene is coming. They're not sure if Phaedra will be coming with all this shit that's going on. They're not really positive, although we've seen on the ads next week that Phaedra will be there as well. Alright, you guys, so that's it. Not much to the review because it wasn't much to review. We tried to squeeze something out of it, alright? You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.